hey, we just found a way to make that work. And the brand and
That's
culture
true.
alignment toolkit, which I haven't even talked about, my commercial proposition, that is all based on that. I took
Wow.
everything that I learned there and I thought to myself, if you're going to be working with a company, a group of people, a family, and you want to engage that family in something, you want to create that red dot that draws them all so that they all want to work together on something, how do you do that? And that's what I do for a living these days. And it's fun. It really
I
is a
love
lot.
it. It's, the problem we are seeing, especially now that there's this new term, the great resignation and then the reset and all these names that people are throwing around. Al and I had this discussion much before these names were coming out. Remember, Al?
We did.
We
I
spoke
mean,
about this.
and everybody's opinion is that somehow COVID caused it, and COVID
Oh,
didn't.
please.
COVID
Yeah.
actually just
Yeah.
exposed it. I mean,
Right.
the frustrations people had with their work lives. I mean, first of all, it's just life. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as your work life and your life. You are living a life.
You're
Work
living
is
a life.
part of it.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. And if you compartmentalize it to the point where what you do during the day is different from what you do at night, then of course you're going to have a great resignation. All anybody ever really needed was permission to resign, which
There
is
you
what
go.
they got from COVID.
That's
But they
right.
had wanted to do this for a long time.
Oh
And
yeah. This has been
people have
cooking.
been unhappy. People have been unhappy and unfulfilled and lacking meaning for a
Yeah.
long time. So,
That's it. That's yeah.
if we connect on anything, it's definitely that.
This model that NBC, what it was, that they used was very, very powerful. And I was blown away that it was that simple. When Al told me the first time, I was like, isn't that common sense? Like, isn't that like duh, right? And I mean, I was using that in my business without even knowing that that's what I was doing. I had no idea that this was even a thing. Like, I just thought that this was like common sense. And just to give that as an example, yesterday and today, two completely different clients, right? One's a major corporation, and another one is just a business professional. But we were talking about their home life, their family dynamics, and I'm using the exact same tactics between a big, massive corporation that has a couple of hundred employees, and this 5 family member group, okay. And it was the exact same tactic. It was the exact same thing, using this, these models and these people, and really just telling them, you could be blue in your face, and you could be telling your employees all you want to, motivate them or whatever. But the bottom line is, they're watching how you're acting.
Absolutely.
How are you acting? Are you the role model that they want to follow, that they want to come to work? It doesn't matter if you have 100 employees. It doesn't matter if you have 2 kids. The same thing.
Absolutely.
Okay?
It's the same thing.
And they're just watching you the whole time. And that's really what this whole discussion was about, and why these 7 whys is what we're talking about here, which we'll get into the last question in a second. Why 7? But it's really about that whole idea of, you have to dig deeper. It's more than just what's at the surface of making money or whatever it is. NBC was trying to make really freaking good shows, and they did. And nobody knew how they were doing it, right?
And it was so simple. It was really, you're right. Right.
They just dug deep into the characters and into what really mattered, in a sense. And they gave the viewer some kind of meaning or purpose, in the sense of, I connect to that person I'm watching. And that's ultimately what hooked them. That's ultimately what hooks millions of people.
So to wheel this all back, because I know that the program ends in like 10 minutes. So, but it won't take more than a couple of minutes to explain this. To take that and make it work for a family, or make it work for a department inside of a company. I mean, and it really, literally, to make it work for the two of you in your partnership, right? It is you ask a question that neither of you knows the answer to, but you both realize is important to answer. And so you work at it together. So our question is, think about this whole family, and think about a family. Think about this whole family as though we're a single person. Try to imagine that your whole family, all 12 kids, you and your partner, and however many kids you have, try to imagine that your family were a person, a single person that somebody could meet at a party. What would that person be like? This family were a person that could go to that I could introduce to. Would this person be a learned kind of a person? Would this person be a careful and empathetic, sympathetic kind of a person? Would this person be a goal-focused and driven person? You know, what you get out of that is have you ever heard the expression, boy, those people really drank the Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
There are 4 flavors of Kool-Aid. The
Yeah.
red Kool-Aid makes you goal-focused and determined. The blue Kool-Aid makes you want to do your homework. Measure twice, cut once, don't make any mistakes. The green Kool-Aid makes you comfortable with people and community-oriented. And the yellow Kool-Aid makes you a little crazy. Makes you want to get a lampshade and put it on your head. Right? Every family, every company has a water cooler that has a mix of those 4 flavors in it.
Yeah.
Those 4 flavors are the Kool-Aid that people drink when they join this team, firm, company, family.
Yeah.
And the onboarding process, and that is the role model. We call it a role target. That's the pattern of behavior that identifies the best of who we all want to be. And it guides us as we make our individual plans to be more like, it's that, what would Jesus do? Except it isn't Jesus. Every group, every team has a Jesus, conceptually. Somebody that guides them invisibly.
Yeah.
That represents who we all want to be more like. If we just knew that person better. That question, what are we like when we're doing our best work on our best day to keep all our promises and deliver and achieve all of our goals? That question it took a long time to formulate that and to get it to work in front of a bunch of focus groups. But that question identifies that role target, starts the conversation that gets there. Some families are very focused on academic excellence. Other families are very focused on community service. Other families are very focused on entertaining, throwing parties, having a good time. No judging of any of them. None of those purposes is any more worthy than any of the others. They're all worthy purposes. What makes the family a family is that they all have the same one.